My name is Elder Leroy, Leroy Allene. I've been part of this church originally from 1972 when I was just a child, except for 8 or 9 years where I sort of did my own thing. I've been generally part of this church, and God's been good. He's brought me back when I was about 27, so I give God thanks for that. He didn't let me wander too far. He set me free. So since 1972, I've been part of it. I'm the elder at the church now, and I've been in ministry with the church for a number of years, about 20 odd years. Yes, I want to give God thanks for bringing me through. There's a few testimonies in my life that I could share, but I'm going in most recent times. I thank God for rescuing me out of the world where I was on a bit of a self-destruct button in terms of marriage and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes in life we think that we have to make mistakes to learn, but we don't. That's one mistake I wish I never made, but God is a merciful God. And going to recently, it's a very personal situation. Going back a few years ago after the situation with the money crash, and I was contracting, and yeah, it was a difficult times. And at the time I had 2 houses, and but it was a tough time because it was only myself working. But when the financial situation became tougher, you know, debts were mounting up around me, and yes, it was a tough time. Some days I couldn't find work. I spend money traveling, pricing jobs, and nothing was happening. I was a bit despondent, and one day I had a knock on the door, and there's over a situation with a parking ticket, and there was bailiffs at my door, and then I realized things were really getting serious. It was then I could have folded up, but God is good God. There's ever debts were mounting, I decided to sell one of the houses, and that time the property situation wasn't too well, so I couldn't get the value that I really wanted. And then things didn't improve for a while. I kept fighting on. I had to repay quite a bit on that because I had remortgaged the house some time ago to buy the second house, and we borrowed some money when business was failing. So it seems like things were going from bad to worse at times, but you know what, in the midst of that, God was still the same God. And yes, it was a tough time, but you know, because of Christian, that means that everything is going to be easy. We're going to have to know to trust God in the tough times. And it came around to it one day, I decided the best thing I could do is sell my second house and start again later on, clear all my debt, and get things together. I didn't want people, you know, the letters are coming through the door, and I tried to get the mortgage company to relax a bit, but they were pressuring me, and I didn't want to, with statistics of people that have lost their houses as such. I said to my wife, it was a tough decision. I couldn't sleep for many days, and I said to my wife, look, I'm going to sell the house. And obviously she couldn't work because of her illness. It's been a bit tough for her. And then she wanted to try and do something, but I know that for her to rush out and work with her body sometimes playing up the way it does, it wasn't good. And I decided to sell the house. Anyway, I sold the house, thought that I could restart again after a while, paid all my debt, but it wasn't so, because things had changed, the financial situation had changed, couldn't get mortgage, and then I found myself renting again, and that was tough. I was despondent. I was thinking, this inheritance I've worked for, something to leave the children, something to retire to, had gone. And I became quite depressed. I didn't want to, I was in church, I was singing, but my lips was moving. I wasn't really singing from my heart. But all I knew that if I had did this before without God, I didn't know what I could have done, what I would have done, because it was so hard to go through what I went through. But God brought me through. It's quite a personal thing, and I was wondering if to share that, but I want to thank God because of God, He is who He says He is. He's a keeper. We have to know God is provided, He's opened doors since. And yes, tough times have been tough, but I don't measure how great God is totally by just the trials, but how He brings me through. Because we don't like trials, but the fact that God brings you through, you're still in your right mind, has taught me that never give up. The Bible says, haven't done all to stand, keep standing. So whatever you're going through, you need to know that just keep holding on. That's just a testimony, because people will be disappointed. Some people pull their hair out. Even times now, it does bother me a little bit when I think of where I was hoping to get and try to sort out, and then it's like a big wave just came and swept it all away. But I thank God that no matter what the world does, what the situation is, He's still faithful. He's a good God, and He's brought me through. I was self-employed, so it made it even tough, because you weren't gonna, if you didn't have any work, no wages coming in, you still have to pay your bills, try and pay your bills. But God has opened the door. I've cleared my debts, and yes, it's not been easy, but I thank God for where He's brought me to. I'm still here standing. I didn't backslide, I didn't run away, even when kind of a depression hit me. And I'll be honest with you, it was easier for me. Some nights I'd go home and I'll go straight to bed and sleep and pull the blankets over to hide. But I thank God He never left me. In all that, when I look around, when things got tough, I realized it was Him that was carrying me. To talk about footprints in the sand, and definitely God carried me. When I looked around, I saw one set of footprints, and it was Him carrying me. It wasn't Him that had gone. And I thank God for this, and I just pray that God, wherever you guys are, wherever people are with their lives, and God is able. You don't have to give up. You don't have to fold in. Just keep holding on, even in the tough times. Thank you.